I regret leaving my wife for my girlfriend. I don't know if I have the right to ask her to take me back. Plus update. My wife and I separated a year and a half ago. Before that, we were together for 15 years. 15 happy years. We have 2 daughters together, 14 and 12. The last 2 years of our marriage, I thought that we have achieved all that we could achieve. Nothing changed, and we knew each other by heart. The pandemic years were hard on me mentally, being stuck at home 24/7. I didn't know that at the time. I thought I was stagnating and out of love with my wife, and that being home made me realize that, instead of the truth that I was just depressed because of being home all the time, albeit with her. When I went back to the office after 2 years, I thought my change of humor to the positive was because I wasn't with her, instead of the fact that I could actually get out again. Then I met Anna, female 32. She was one of the new people that we hired. Anna is free and happy, social and high-spirited. She took the office by storm. She was the opposite of my shy and calm wife. I remember when I first met my wife. I was the one who asked her out, and first 2 years into our relationship, she confessed to me that she had liked me for at least a year before I asked her out. With Anna, she was honest and verbal about how she had a crush on me. Like an open book. She proposed to me. I told her that I was married, and she said that we only live once, and that she just wanted to tell me how she felt no matter if I reciprocated or not. I felt strongly for her that I confessed to my wife that I was out of love with her. She asked me if there was someone else, and I said yes. That was enough for her not to try to dissuade me. I know that she was hurt and suffering in secret, and I never tried to console her because I didn't want her to know that I knew how much she was hurting. Her pride has always been her dearest possession. I moved out a week later, to Anna. I thought that I was going to be over the moon now, but something was missing even when I felt happy. I thought it was me missing my children in my home. I was used to be with my daughters every day, and now I see them only half the time. I thought it was my daughters crying and not speaking to me that hurt me. I thought it was the disappointment in their eyes that disturbed my sleep at night. My wife was my rock even in separation. She made sure that the girls didn't refuse to see me. She kept my image whole and always spoke to them about how I loved them and how good of a father I was. I knew she was hurting and I could see her missing me, but she never once lost her dignity. It was around Christmas when it hit me how much I really lost. Anna had surprised me with a trip to a warm destination because I was feeling down that this would be the first time I wouldn't celebrate with my daughters who chose their mother. Anna always understood that my blueness was because I missed my girls all the time, and she tried everything to cheer me up. The night before we took our trip, I dropped by my wife to leave my daughter's presents. My wife opened the door and she just looked so serene. I lost my balance on an ice patch and she just said, "Oops," and ran towards me to help with the gifts. I caught a whiff of her smell, and that was when it all hit me. I did miss my children and my home and my stability, but most of all, I just missed my wife. I missed her warmth, her voice, her calmness, her wit, and most of all, her smell when I buried my face in her hair and neck on Saturdays when we could sleep in. I knew that I never really stopped loving her. She wasn't the reason I went through a dark period. She was the only light that pushed me forward. I have always missed her. I have tried to explain it away because I have this new brilliant girlfriend, who is so different, who is teaching me how to be excited again. Every time, my wife's face is the first thing I thought of when I woke up in the morning and looked at the person next to me. And every time Anna kissed me, and I closed my eyes to try and imagine my wife's smell. I pushed these thoughts away because I thought of how miserable my life had been these pandemic years. My wife was putting up the Christmas tree, and I asked her if I could stay for a beer, and she said yes. I started crying in our kitchen, and when she asked, I told her that I was missing the girls and how strange it was not to celebrate with them. She comforted me and told me that everything will be okay and to have a nice trip. Change is never easy even if we wanted it. Now another Christmas is approaching. Anna has booked a new adventure for Christmas and I didn't even protest. For the last year, picking the children up or dropping them off has been what I look forward to just to see my wife's face. I have noticed how she has become happier and more in terms with the changes and I envy her. I wish I could just tell her how I feel, but I don't want to disturb her healing when she's come so far. I love her like I never loved her before, but I don't deserve a moment more of her life after what I did. Now for the top comments before reading the update. My wife. Nah mate. That has been bothering me the most. Man keeps saying my wife, but what especially sent me into a rage was our kitchen. Such a small detail, but it is not your freaking kitchen anymore. You are doing the same thing now to your girlfriend you did to your wife. Infidelity is abuse. You seem unable to be alone and unable to be happy who you're with. And you are traumatizing people along the way with your selfish choices as you blithely go along your merry way choosing yourself every time. Parents don't get to be selfish at the cost of all others. You should separate from your girlfriend and work on yourself and what makes you unhappy and lack loyalty in every relationship you are in. You frankly left your wife for something shiny and new, and now that you see what you had was amazing, you want to have your cake and eat it too. Look at the damage you have caused your children. It's time to get help for yourself so that you can work to repair the damage with your girls and start setting a good example. And frankly, ending things with the woman who helped you knowingly heap that pain upon those who should have been most cherished in your life is one way you could try to show with actions that you no longer want to be the person who would hurt them so terribly. I don't think you should get back with your wife. You are not a safe partner. But there are a lot of steps you could take to make amends and prove you know the hurt you caused and the trauma you caused. Why not try to take those steps instead of staying with this other toxic woman who helped you destroy your family? It's shameful on both your parts. You should end it and work on yourself. It's honestly the least you can do. Like the absolute bare minimum. And taking trips on Christmas instead of seeing your kids. Holy smokes. I know your kids don't want to stay with you, but I bet if you got rid of the side piece, you could at least visit them. You chose a woman who participated in breaking up a family over your own kids. And you continue to do so. Get it together. Even if his ex-wife takes him back, it won't be the same. They won't have what they used to have together. Ever. There is no turning back the clock here. You took her trust and shattered it. If she ever does let you back into her life, which is doubtful, you still won't be trusted. There won't be the same intimacy, the same trust, the same reliance on you as a partner, etc. Stop pining after a past life you can't return to and start living this one. I hope she doesn't take him back. I hope she finds someone who will put her on a pedestal. Bro, your wife sounds like a stunner, classy, and an amazing lady. You don't deserve her after everything you did. But now you've manifested the same problem with someone else. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Go to therapy or something maybe. You need to figure out the root cause of this. Yeah, OP wrote this like he's writing some romantic movie where in the end, he and his wife have a cute moment when he slips on ice. And in the end, she takes him back because he confesses he still loves her. The reality is, he's just like any other cheater. He puts the responsibility for his happiness on whoever he happens to be in love with at the time. His ex-wife deserves better. Exactly. His new girlfriend is his manic pixie dream girl who gave 0 Fs about him being married with kids and a co-worker. And now for the update. I have now broken up with Anna. I feel such a weight lifting. Maybe it is not a nice thing to do, breaking up with someone before the holidays, but I needed this. For my own sake, but even for Anna. She doesn't deserve my resentment towards her, since I'm the only one to blame for breaking up my marriage. But I can't help but resent her. I can't help but think I don't want someone like her around my daughters. I hope she will be fine and I wish her luck. Edit. Me, I blame nobody but myself for breaking up my marriage. The average comment, so are you saying Anna is the one to blame for breaking up your marriage? I don't know why my comments are being deleted. Probably offended one of the mods. So I will leave this app. I'm not going to bother my wife. I probably need to be alone while trying to sort out my feelings and mental issues. I'm just hoping this would make my girls accept me in my home as their second. I heard about Reddit on a podcast. I thought the quality would be better than this. But I made good connections with some people who had battled depression. So I'm taking this with a grain of salt, and I'm grateful for those who listen to me. Have a great life, everyone. She'll be perfectly fine. She'll take her bright and brilliant self and help some other jerk mess up his marriage. I can't help but think I don't want someone like her around my daughters. Spoiler alert, you are someone like her. Nah, he is even worse. Yeah, she didn't break his marriage vow since she didn't even make it in the first place. Should she have been flirting with him? No, but OP should have been a decent enough human to remember his loving wife and kids and put a stop to it. You're the one who screwed over your kid's mom and ruined the marriage/disrupted their childhood, but Anna is the bad influence. Sure, dude. Don't you know, Anna forced him to cheat with her. He is the victim here. He still doesn't get it, even after all the thousands of comments on the last post. Right, then blames Anna and is disappointed with the people on Reddit. Did he think people were going to clap him on the back and say, "We feel you, man, it was the depression. It's not your fault. We all love you here." The lack of self-awareness and complete ineptitude to do any self-searching is astounding. It seems you do a lot of things for my own sake. I think this is why you are in this situation. Until you grow enough to actually put someone else's needs above your impulses, it is likely things won't get better for you. Please go to therapy now. Learn how to heal the ones you love that you caused pain doing things for your own sake. This is so true. To be honest, doesn't feel like he cared much about hurting his wife. He could have easily had a conversation with her about how he's been feeling and tried to work it out. Now he's just sad because he misses having a family waiting for him when he's back home. He misses his wife, who has been the most graceful person despite his behavior. It's all about him. He doesn't want someone like Anna around his daughters. Makes me wonder why he wants someone like his own self around them. He left a marriage of 15 years for a random woman he met at work. Lol. No genuine remorse except for self-pity. Wow. Now for the last story. My partner, male 27, left because I told him it bothers me that my ex-boyfriend doesn't acknowledge my existence. I, female 24, am in a 2-year relationship, living together with my partner in a country that's foreign to us both. We're studying together and have known each other for almost 5 years now. Almost 3 years ago, I was in a relationship with someone else before I started seeing my current partner, and we were on good terms for more than a year after we broke up. Like, we were friendly and would hang out platonically, and he was in a relationship too. I haven't seen him in a long time and we kind of lost contact, which is completely natural and okay with me. But I recently saw him for the first time in a while, since we have some events in common. Before, he would have a conversation with me or at least say hi. But now he doesn't do that anymore, and I was confused to why he would act that way. My current boyfriend has asked me about it, and I told him my ex has been weird lately, but didn't think of it too much and didn't say anything else to my current boyfriend. Yesterday we had another event we were both attending, and I was talking to a close friend of mine who is also still friends with my ex, and he would still not acknowledge my presence or say anything, which started to bother me. The next morning, I told my boyfriend that it kind of bothers me that he doesn't acknowledge my presence, and continued explaining that it worries me because I know people in his circle don't like me, and I'm worried they are spreading rumors or something like that. I have no evidence of anything like that, just something that worried me. My partner got upset over me telling him. Has mood swings all day, meaning he was acting normal, then got angry again, then acted all normal again. Until finally he was dropping me off somewhere and heading home, and he said I should break up with him before I say something like that. When I got home, most of his things were packed, and he left without saying where he was going. Just said, good luck in life and have fun with your ex. Just to clarify, I only brought up this concern once, not repeatedly. I want to feel like I can share my thoughts with my partner, and kept trying to clarify to him that this wasn't because I miss my ex and I'm not looking to reconnect with him. It just felt weird and uncomfortable to be in that situation, especially when I don't know if I did anything wrong. It's not unusual for my partner to give an exaggerated reaction, but this feels a bit excessive. Any input would be helpful. Now for the advice. Girl, no, you don't need to share every thought that passes through with your partner. That's not even the problem. I don't mind hearing my partner's thoughts. It's that she's still into her ex, and it's so obvious. And meh, she should not even be keeping those thoughts at all. No guy wants to be with a girl who is so hung up with an ex like that. Doesn't matter how much mental gymnastics you do to explain it away. If you presented all your thoughts to your boyfriend in the way you presented them here, I can understand his reaction. Your post repeatedly states, my ex this, my ex that, my ex isn't paying attention to me. I'm friends with some exes, and the ex part doesn't come into it. It's friend first. My friend this, my friend that, etc. Any reactions from them and how I receive them are based purely on a friend level and treated no differently from any other friend. They're a friend who did a specific action, the ex doesn't come into it. To your now ex-boyfriend, it's going to sound like you're hung up on your ex and his behavior patterns towards you. In fact, it really does look like that's the case. When you break up with someone but end up being friends, that's a friendship that needs foundations of, well, friendship. In your case, you hadn't seen this guy for a long time, so there wasn't really a friendship, he's still just your ex. And you see him again and start to obsess about his responses, which you feed back to your boyfriend. Even if it's not true, it's going to come across to your boyfriend that you are obsessing over him, and his reactions to you can make or break a night out. You weren't present in your current real relationship, and were too concerned about your previous one. If I was the boyfriend, it's possible I'd make the same move. Doesn't matter if we had a lovely night as a couple, it's all fallen apart because of how an ex did or didn't react towards you. You're completely right, and I understand that it seemed that way, and of course I had given this person a thought, otherwise I wouldn't be talking about it. But if the fact I used the word ex on the post the thing that made it worse, I was using him name, and just used the word ex for the sake of explaining the situation. And I think he's aware that I consider him a friend. Hopefully I'm not reading into this advice wrong. You haven't spoken to your ex in years. Anything he hoes that doesn't directly affect you should be ignored. He ignores you, fine, because you're not friends and he isn't important to your life. The fact that you're worried about his attention screams you're not over him. Look inward. Figure out why you need his attention and fix it. Now you got 2 ex-boyfriends there. I guess that's true. It's so recent, so I don't know what he's actually going to do, hence why I wrote current partner. Should I edit it to X to make it clearer? You may as well get used to writing it out, I guess.